I'm Sexydanny21awesome. I'm here today with JTISREBORN, and today we are reviewing Bates Motel Season 3. So let's hear what you thought of Bates Motel Season 3, JTISREBORN.
Okay, so Season 1 of Bates Motel I really liked. Season 2 of Bates Motel, I thought it was pretty bad. Honestly, I was just like, boy, this season, like, characters came and went. This season is a step above Season 2. I mean, pretty much anything is a step above Season 2 in my eyes. I mean, this season, like, I look at Bates Motel as, like, a dark comedy. In a way, it's like, I find the show, like, unintentionally funny, but it's also, like, uncomfortable and awkward. Like, I don't find it, like, really, like, a scary show by any means. I just think it's, like, uncomfortable, awkward, and also, like, unintentionally funny. Like, Norman dressing up as Norma and just, like, hey, sweetheart. And I'm just like, that to me just, like, made me laugh.
Yeah.
Some of Norman's dialogue, it's like he's trying to make his mom jealous. And
It's not really unintentional, though, because the writers have confirmed that they do write it so that it is actually pretty funny.
I don't know, it's just, like, some of the lines of dialogue Norman has just makes me laugh. It's just such a, like, they're such a strange family.
Yeah, and that's what makes it work so good, though, because it's like a comedy, it's a drama, and it's a horror show. So there's, like, this mixture of, like, all this different, like, elements, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, usually horror shows, they only have, like, one side to them, where this show goes, like, everywhere. It makes you feel uncomfortable, it goes the drama route, it brings in, like, rape victims, and you're like, what the hell's going on here? And then
Incest.
it goes back to comedy. Yeah, it goes back to comedy. And you're like, this is like, there's so many things going on in this show. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about Season 3.
Okay, so Season 3, it obviously, like, following the events of Season 2 with, like, the drug organization, or the drug cartel, whatever the hell you're giving the name of it. Like, so basically, like, Nick Ford, who's the main drug guy, like, the head of the whole, like, the drug trade, I should say, in the town. Yeah, marijuana. So, like, he's the head of the trade, basically, and as we know, he died in the previous season. I honestly felt like the drug plot was just, like, to me, that's the least interesting part of the show. I think it's more interesting when they focus on the Bates family themselves. I felt like they just added that in because I think they didn't feel like they had enough, like, material to work with to make it a full, like, show unless they added that in there.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like that's just, like, the second bit of, like, filler for me. So, anyways,
Yeah.
like, so basically the trade's down. I guess, like, Dylan is like, the DA comes in, cleans shit up, and the whole town is basically, like, pissed that this happened. Like, most of them are. They're like, that's our fucking money, man. What are we supposed to do now? Get actual jobs? Pay taxes? Or, like, stuff like that. So now they're really pissed. They're pissed at the sheriff. So, like, one of the guys, what was his name? Bob Paris? Like, he's, like, the main bad guy in this season, I guess you could say. Because, like, so let's go back. So it also continues to develop the relationship with the Bates family. Like, there's this weird, like, Norman's, like, getting jealous of Norma spending time with Dylan. Norma's brother's back in a more prominent role this season. The show, like, Norman's, like, begins school. He's all messed up from the whole Blair Watson thing. So he's now homeschooled, and then he's, like, starts an awkward relationship with Emma. Like, that's the whole point of the relationship is to make his mom jealous, I guess. It's, like, it's just so weird, but, like, it's just like, dear God. So Norman, at one point, this prostitute comes in, and then Norman just like, oh, a prostitute, hello there. So then he drives her to this one place.
Dude, don't tell me you weren't saying hello when you saw that prostitute.
I would have said hello too. I mean,
yeah.
I don't blame him.
You would have helped the prostitute change the light bulb. I would have been in there just like Norman. Don't lie.
Yeah, I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
Yeah.
So anyways, so Norman's there,
Okay.
and then like he drives her to this wherever. to like a bar or something. Then he comes back, and then the prostitute's like not there. So, and then there's this whole big mystery of what happened to her. Then she shows up later with like this like she's all like bloodied and like she's got a flash drive in that, and like she gives it to Norma and he's like, take it. And then these people come by like, where's the flash drive? We're like, what flash drive? So Norma now has like, she has some dirt on like the bad guys of the town. The town is like really screwed with Norma. This town is like, she gives like a, Vera Farmiga is like the best actor slash actress on the show. Like,
I just love the twist with the whole flash drive because like everybody thought that he had killed the hooker, so the fact that he didn't, like it made me very surprised actually.
Yeah.
Especially since she died instantly when she came back, and it was like, what?
Yeah, this show is just like, it's kind of off the wall in some parts. Like this season's a little bit less predictable than season like 2 was. Season 2, you could see everything like that. Like characters, I'm sorry, I don't like season 2 of the show. Like so many people just come in and out. It's like an open door. It's like a revolving door. Oh, hi, I'm a character for a few episodes. Bye. Hi, Norman. Bye.
You can just go from 1 to 3 if you wanted to. I mean, like there are some important moments in season 2, like the flashback scenes with him and his teacher, and there's some interesting things. But all in all, season 3 just kicked season 2's ass. Let's just be honest here.
Yeah. My 5th grade graduation video kicked season 2's ass at Bates Motel.
Well, I really enjoyed season 3 because it kept me on the edge of my seat, and it was very unexpected twists and turns in it. And let's just talk about how uncomfortable season 3 is when you're just sitting and watching. Like,
okay.
There's so many uncomfortable scenes. Let's talk about
I
that.
predicted since season 1 that Norman wants to bang his mom, or he's going to in some capacity. They gave more hints of that in like season 2, but this season they really, really were pushing it. Like even like one of the psychologists or psychiatrists who's like talking to Norman, he's like, "Do you want to bang your mom?" He's like, "Get away from me!" Like Norman actually got to like have a little more fun this season in terms of being a bad guy. Like he was definitely crazier this season, and like the moments where he just starts to go a little more psycho, like even towards his mom of all people. Like he started like his mental like functionality in his brain is like breaking down more as the show progresses. Like I feel like they didn't touch that as much in season 2 as they did this season, but like I said, it's more about the progression of the whole
I
thing.
like how everybody's just so like mean to like Norman. I mean, like his brother's like, nothing, Norman. We're not going to tell you what's going on.
Like
you know,
I don't even get why they even bother like not telling him. It's just like you might as well. I mean, your family's committed murder, illegal drug trades. They've done pretty much so much wrong, this family.
like you gotta feel sorry for Norman because everybody's just a dick to him. You know what I mean? Like everybody.
I do not feel sympathy for Norman. He is a psychopathic murderer.
I know he's a psychopathic murderer, but at the same time, I feel sympathy for him because they know that he needs help. They know that.
But Norman doesn't want that. He's just like,
yeah, I know.
he's off the wall. He definitely like goes over the edge more in this season. Like the scene that I think the scene that like most people are talking about is a scene where he's like Dylan goes down to the kitchen. He's like in his mom's dress and he's like is his mom. That scene was just like, okay, they went there finally, and I just started to laugh. This season was funny as hell. Like it's maybe because I have a sick sense of humor. But I found myself like laughing the entire time this show was going on. There's one part in particular where like Norma's like mom or dad, I can't remember which, like dies, and then like she's like all upset. Like but like earlier in the episode she's like, Norman, I don't want you sleeping in my bed anymore. You're like 17 or 18. You're an adult now, basically. You can't be sleeping in your mom's bed. He's like, why? Did Dylan tell you that? Like, what does he have to? Why does he get to say in our relationship? Like what?
Yeah, and there's this like.
But wait, let me finish really quick. Then I'll let you get that. So then, like later in the episode or whatever, Norma's crying. She's like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "I'm going to my room, mother." But she's like, "Don't you want to sleep with me?" He's like, "Well, what about Dylan? My parents just died or whatever. Can't you just for tonight?" And then he's just like, "Move over, you silly woman." And I just like, I'm like, I just started to laugh. I was like in tears laughing. I had to like,
I was laughing then too. I was
I
laughing.
had to like rewind like a couple times. That, and then there's like also that bad guy, like the Bob
Yeah.
Harris, Bob, like
Oh
the
yeah.
creepy smiling guy, the flash drive guy.
Yeah.
Like that guy, like I don't know what it was about him, but like the part where like Norma and like Romero are like trying to like get some dirt on him, like so Norma can finally get her Bates Motel like rolling again, so she can get some more money. She's got some leverage over these people finally, and then she's just sitting there. He just has this shit-eating grin the whole time, like just started to make me laugh. Anyways, go
Yeah.
back to what you were gonna say.
Well, first of all, I just want to say that that guy reminds me of the guy in American Psycho when like remember that scene in American Psycho where
Paul Allen.
yeah, where Alan calls that guy and he's just like laughing on the phone because he's trying to get a reservation. That reminds me of the bad guy.
Oh, you mean Patrick Bateman?
Yeah, yeah, Patrick Bateman.
Okay.
Like,
I was gonna say because like he kind of does remind me a bit of like Paul Allen in that movie. That grin, he's just like,
yeah, he is kind of like Paul a little bit, and also kind of like that guy who laughs on the phone when he's talking to Patrick Bateman. Basically, you know what I mean? He's got like this kind of like sarcastic kind of like tone to him.
he was more entertaining than like generic bad guy season 2 guy like Nick Ford or whatever. That guy was boring. He just kind of stared. He was just like, I'm the leader of this place. Blah 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 blah. This guy actually was funny.
Because the guy in season 2 is basically just a stereotype, or like the guy in season 3 has a personality.
Yeah, he was funny.
and I gotta say that the thing that I liked about season 3 was there's so many uncomfortable moments, like the scene with Norman, where he's like he's in the bathroom with his mom, and his mom's taking his belt off. You're like, what the hell is going on here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all like a part of his imagination.
Yeah, you're like, it's going there. Oh my god, yeah.
Yes.
And it's a great season because there's so many twists and turns, and you don't know what's gonna happen.
Like,
and also, the thing about the flash drive, it got me like really wondering what was gonna happen, and kept me on the edge of my seat. And I really like season 3. So, and also I like how they brought Bradley back into it at the very end, like unexpectedly. Like they didn't mention her; she just randomly shows up. I just like that.
it's just like, hey, I'm done filming Transformers 4. Can I come back now?
Yeah, but you gotta admit the way that they bring her in is very unexpected. Like you know,
Yeah, like I honestly, like, the truth be told, I didn't know she was like there until like the next week because my recorder cut off at the last like 30 seconds, and I'm like, oh well, nothing happens, and then I can't come the next week like, whoa, she's back.
Yeah.
Because like I record, like the thing with Annie that sucks is like you can record the full hour, but the episode doesn't end till like 2 minutes afterwards. So like I gotta be more prepared the next time. So, but like anyways, yeah, she just shows up. She's like, Norman, I'm sad. I don't like living this life. I like my rich house and all this stuff.
And my parents don't care about me anymore, so they put all the stuff in my room now. So now I'm gonna go rob them.
That was pretty funny. And then like the part where she was like, hey Norman,
Yeah.
let's do it. And then Norman just sees his mom. He's like, I can't do this. Yeah.
It's funny yet disturbing at the same time. You know? Like it's like how his ghost mom shows up. You know.
Yeah, Ghost Mom, who like wants to like sleep with him in his own way. It's so, oh god.
And then sometimes he sees his real mom and he doesn't know if it's his ghost mom. You know what I mean? He's like, oh, are you even real? Like he doesn't know sometimes. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, his mental stability like really like has gone down this season. Like he's like he's blacking out more, and he's like losing touch with reality.
Remember his dog comes alive?
Yeah, like there's a part like, so let's go over some more of that. What happens? Like Dylan has his like subplot with like Caleb and that one part where Caleb falls. Like they're working on something. He's like, whoa. That was funny. Dylan and Emma are kind of a thing now, I guess. Norman was like trying to bang, was like with Emma
Yeah.
in a way, like just to make his mom jealous.
And
Which is,
Opie's in this from Sons of Anarchy. He's good in this. He's pretty funny.
oh,
Remember Opie? You know, from Sons of Anarchy?
I didn't watch Sons of Anarchy, so.
Well, yeah, you know, the guy that gets hires them for the job, basically.
Oh, the stoner guy.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a creepy guy. Like
He's like, hey, you guys wanna go do this job?
Yeah, and he like totally sets them up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, this season, and then also can't forget Sheriff Eyeliner or Romero.
yeah, but it's been confirmed that it's not his eyeliner; those are his actual eyelashes. I found this out in a behind the scene. Well, not behind the scene, but you know the Bates Motel thing where they
After
like,
Hours.
Yeah, what's it called?
I think it's Bates Motel After Hours.
Yeah, After Hours. I watched that that one time. So found that out. Real eyes. That's why he looks like that in the Batman movie. So there you go.
Okay.
But I gotta say, like, his sheriff is pretty badass. You gotta admit. And
Yeah, I want to see like. There's one scene that's actually like where like everyone's like kind of together. Like everyone comes together at one point. It's like Dylan, Emma, Norman, Norma, even Caleb, who kind of like Caleb and like Romero. They all like have like a dinner and they're all like happy for once. And like Norman gets like mad because that means people are moving in on his like mom basically. But it's like Norma is actually like trying to like she's covering up for all of Norman's like misdeeds, and it's just like taking a toll on her more. Like she starts like sleeping with her psychiatrist, and like the scene with like Norman and like the psychiatrist, like he's actually gotten to play with like being like like the kid, like you can see like the villain brewing more like with the conversations he had with that guy. He's like attempts to like murder him. Like Norman, I want to see Norman get his ass kicked. Honestly, like he's a good bad guy because it's just like he's supposed to be like the protagonist of the show, but he's also like the villain. And at the same time, you just want to see like in the end, you want to see him get like justice because he's like committing all these horrible crimes, and like you can just see him snapping like more and more.
Yeah.
Like I hope when they eventually end the show that they don't end it in the like really predictable way, like going by the Psycho novel and just like starts that whole cycle again. I'm like that to me would be disappointing, kind of.
I think that Norman's definitely gonna be the last one standing if he does die, though. He's definitely gonna be the last one.
Yeah, I don't want it like one of those stupid endings where he just like zooms in on him smirking and then like the Marion Crane from Psycho comes in and it's just like, oh, I'm here to do this. And he's like, okay, Psycho.
I don't think they would do that because it's just too predictable. This show goes. Yeah, I mean, like.
I can understand taking elements. Like you might as well go off in your own direction.
The show definitely does go off in its own direction while also keeping kind of like the heart of like the original movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like they got the house and everything, yet
the house looks great though. The house is like perfectly done.
The house is like almost like an actor itself, because like you know what I mean? It's just like the atmosphere of the house and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. But yeah, I gotta say I really did enjoy this season. Really good acting in it, and I give it a 10 out of 10. What would you give it?
8. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10 because like I've seen better stuff. Like season 1 is better than this, than season 3.
Season 1, I guess you could say, was more brutal because of the murder.
I think season 1 just flowed better.
Yeah.
Personally.
There is a brutal murder though at the end, you know, with Bradley. That's really brutal.
Yeah, it's just like.
It almost brings back the brutality of season 1, where season 2 is lacking the brutality of season 1. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Season 3 kind of brings that back, but at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, what else can we? Okay, so what else can we talk about? The Dylan Emma thing. Like, I felt like they were just doing that to force a hashtag. Personally, it's like get ready for a dilemma.
Uh,
The stupid commercials that they kept airing, it's just like, we're in the midst of a dilemma.
well, I think
Are you guys down with this dilemma?
I think his brother is like doomed to die because when he finds out that he's dead, you know.
Well, he was like he cared for her more than Norman did. Norman
Yeah,
was more like just
no,
doing it
no,
to get back at his mom.
yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, there, but at the same time, you feel a little bit sorry. But at the same time, you're like, he's a psychopath. Like, you know.
Yeah, like the part where like I think the like there's like the part where like Norma leaves them for like a day, and then she goes back like the next day because of the whole Caleb situation.
Yeah.
Like Norman just completely like shuts down, and then Dylan just like he's gone nuts like completely. Norma knows that he's like this horrible like person, but she doesn't want, but she cares about her son, so she doesn't want to like do anything. Well, she does, like she wants to take him to like an institution, but Norman's just like, oh hey mother, what looks crazier, me doing this or you lying constantly, like changing the subject, constantly like hiding things, constantly like just randomly buying a new car, some like random stuff like that. Who's the crazy one? And
Yeah.
she just like looks at him like he grabs the knife and she's like really scared. So like those were my favorite moments in the show when it's just like Norman's just like about to like get like really pissed off and like ready to just like attack. And he just like talks to people like he's more like he's definitely like more evil, like even like in like not in his like state where he goes and like his mother tells him what to do, but like
Yeah.
just like in a I guess a more sane state. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's just like, say this to me right now, and then this is I'm just talking to you, and then say for instance like the whole like mother thing comes in, and it's just like what mother, like the state where he's just in like kind of like his more normal state, I should say. Well, I mean you can't really call it normal considering like what he does, but like his non ghost mother state, let's just say.
I loved how like at the end of season 3, instead of like him being his mother, it was like him actually becoming his mother because he was his mother, and I
Like
think
the performing
that
things
was
because his mother like asked him to.
yeah, but that was cool because it showed you what he was seeing through his eyes. You know what I mean? Like he
Hmm.
became his mom, and that is original because they never did that in the original Psycho. So that was cool because they actually did something different. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I like it when they do things like that, like do original ideas. You know?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like to see things that I haven't seen because I'm like, we already know what happens in Psycho. You might just take the inspiration of that and just go off and do your own thing. Honestly, that's when I would think it works the best.
And then I think in season 2 they hadn't really gotten it down pat. They hadn't really gotten how are we gonna make this guy creepy. Like we know kind of like how we're gonna do with Freddie Highmore, but we don't know how we're gonna do it yet. Where in season 3, where they were like, okay, we nailed it. We know how we're gonna make this guy really
Hmm.
creepy. We're gonna make him actually become his mom, and it's gonna be like, what? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, because in like season 2, when he comes in and he's talking to his uncle, and you said you hated that scene because you thought it was not creepy at all and it just destroyed everything. Where in this season, they've they've gotten it down to how they can make Norman really creepy. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Like just some of the scenes like with his mom like taking his the ghost mom taking his pants off like, come on
Yeah.
Norman, you know you want this, and I'm like the part where he sniffs his mom's dress, the part where he just dresses up as her and he acts like her, and then Dylan's just like, what the fuck is up with you? Like I love how they're all like trying to conceal this, and Romero knows what's up. I want Romero to like Romero's like so close to like putting Norman in jail. Like he really you can tell he kind of really wants to, but man, like this family is just
But
like
he's got a problem. He's in love with Norma. That's his problem.
he didn't bang her or sleep with her or any of that.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to though. He's so close. It's gonna happen. Norma goes with anybody, like her psychiatrist who was just there for like a few episodes. He's just like, I was like brutally like assaulted, Norma. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You're damn right I told him about your son. What was he gonna do, die?
Yeah. I was getting tortured. What the hell do you think I was gonna do?
It just... That guy was just like strange and awkward. Like this season was just the most awkward and like I guess uncomfortable in some things.
Oh yeah, like the scene where like Norma invites her like her rapist brother over to like dinner, and they're all like.
And I'm like, they're playing the piano together. I'm just like, I just feel like something's going to happen there, but like it never did.
Yeah, you're like, this is so awkward, and like Norma's like, he's here, and then they're like all eating the potatoes, and Norma's like,
Like I was like pissed.
Uncle. What?
This all looks pissed off.
It was like the most awkward like dinner scene I've ever seen.
And everyone seems like in a good mood finally. Then Norman's just like, ah, shit. And then Bradley shows up. Bradley never really interacted with anyone, like outside of Norman, which was kind of disappointing. I think it would have been more interesting if she ran into like, they could have used her a little better than just like 5 minutes show up. Like that's the thing that they did with season 2. Characters show up and leave. What happened to that Cody chick?
But that's what I liked about it, because it was so unexpected.
It was unexpected,
yeah.
But like I said, it was like really short. It was like the last 2 episodes.
I think the reason like she shows up so like abruptly is because they don't want you to expect it. Number one, and number two, they want to question Norman's sanity to think, did he really kill Bradley or did he not? We know he probably did, but they're going to question that in the next season.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's why she didn't interact with any other characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the continuity.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, I didn't really think of that. I thought she was just really there. Or maybe she was really there. I mean, because, like, there's shots that aren't, like, from Norman's perspective, and there's actually just of her, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like, I just think that they brought her in there, you know, just to, you know, talk about it, you know. I'm sure he killed her. I'm sure it happened. I don't think he imagined it.
Mm-hmm.
But, because that would be really weird if he didn't kill her. So,
yeah.
Honestly, he did. Right? Like, but I think it's going to be interesting when his mother questions if that really happened or not. And when they find the car finally in the water, that he did kill Bradley.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm curious to see what they're going to do with season 4. I mean, because it's like season 1 to season 2 felt, I guess, a little like you kind of got an idea. Even with season 3, season 4, you kind of have like no real idea what they're going to do. Because I mean, like the whole the DEA came in, like that whole thing is kind of just like getting pushed aside finally. Like I said, I thought that was the least interesting part of the show. What else? I think overall the season was better than season 2. I don't know if I'd rank it above season 1 though. I thought the acting was better this season than it was in like seasons 1 and 2.
And
like I feel like they're growing into their roles a little more. Like Vera Farmiga is like the best actress on the show, like / actor. Like she does the best job performance wise.
And they really upped the creep factor, because like they found out how to make us extremely uncomfortable in the season. Let's just get that out of the way. But, I mean, if they can make us feel really uncomfortable, then they've done their job.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know what I mean? Because like this job, you know, like the job of the director is to make you feel uncomfortable, but also he makes you laugh your ass off. So you're laughing your ass off. You're uncomfortable. There's some dramatic scenes, and then there's also some horror in there. You know, like at the end with the brutality of Bradley's death and everything. Mm-hmm. So there's like so many things going on. I'm feeling so many things watching this show, because I actually did feel really sorry for Bradley at the end, which is weird because I hated her character in season 1. So when I saw her die in season 3, I actually felt really sorry for her.
It's like a lot of shows, like you get to that point where you're like season 3 or 4 and you're like, wow, we've come so far from where we were in the beginning. And you're just like, whoa, I kind of miss the beginning now.
Yeah, and I was like, I hated this character in season 1, and yet I'm like, Norma, what are you doing? She's beautiful, and she's, no, bro, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, Norman, like, you got a solid you got a solid babe over there, and then you're just like, my mother, mother, or mother, mother.
He's like, why, mother? He's like, now you're gonna clean up your mess. That's what he always does in all the Psycho movies, you know?
Yeah,
So, like,
it's yeah. This season was definitely an improvement over season 2. I mean, the less we say about season 2, the better. All right, so I'm gonna give it like an 8 out of 10.
I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because I really enjoyed it. And
Do you really want to give it a 10 out of 10 though?
definitely this season. I can admit that last season had some problems. I can admit that. But I have to say that the fact that they made me feel sorry that Bradley died, they have succeeded because I hated Bradley in season 1.
And then season 2, she just comes in and just...
Like Devil's Rejects, you know what I mean? Like when you felt sorry for like the bad guys dying.
Yeah, it's just like, what? No.
Yeah.
Out of here.
Yeah, well, Bradley wasn't a serial killer, but at the same time...
Actually, she did commit a murder.
Oh, you're right. She is a serial killer. Okay, Sean's got me. She killed one person. So I guess you could say it is like kind of like Devil's Rejects, because like she is kind of a bad person. Because number one, she kind of rejected Norman and she killed someone, and yet you feel sorry for her at the end of season 3. So you know what I mean? It's kind of funny because in season 1 you hate her, and in season 3 you kind of feel sorry for her because she gets killed by Norman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess.
And, like, kind of like in season 3, she's kind of like that girl that's on drugs where you're like, hey, you know what? You're kind of messed up, but, you know, you could, like, sort out your life and, like, start over and be okay. But, like, you know what I mean? And then it just all blows up in her face, you know? It's like...
Well, I think it was her face that didn't really blow. It was, like, the back of her head that blew up.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. Okay. Her death was very tragic and very brutal,
Mm-hmm.
and it reminded me kind of the death in season 1, but at the same time, like, you cared more about it because, like, the guy who died in season 1 you didn't really care about, where in this one you really cared about it. You know what I mean?
In some aspects, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it was pretty disturbing, and I gotta give them props for that because they went there.
okay.
And, yeah. So I really enjoyed season 3. You give it an 8 out of 10, right?
Yeah, 8.
I give it a 10 out of 10, and we're gonna say check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And have an awesome night.
Alright, more stuff coming soon, people.
Yeah, and next time we'll be reviewing Insidious Chapter 3.
Chapter 3, yep. It's already another Insidious movie around the corner.
3 now. Bates Motel Season 3, Insidious Chapter 3. It's the year of 3, right?
It is.
So stay tuned for that. We'll have that up pretty soon.
Okay, thank you all for watching. Have a good day.
Have a good night.